Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is part of the Intercontinental group of awesome, so named because we are located on either sides of a giant ocean, a couple of continents of gamers who get together on Sundays and play things. This is the ongoing campaign series of Spire, The City Must Fall by Rowan Deckard. That is not run by me. It is run by none other than our loving GM, Tyler. Tyler, take it away.
Hi there, I'm Tyler, he, him pronouns, and yes, we are playing Spire by Grant Howitt and Christopher Taylor. Excellent game about oppression. We're all drow who are working for a group called the Ministry, which is a revolutionary organization trying to free the drow of Spire from the Elfir, the High Elves, who have come in, taken over, and are generally complete jerks. Each of our people have our characters have spent a time in durance, which is what the High Elves make all the drow do to earn their citizenship in their own city, which is just dickish if ever there was a thing to be. But the last time we played, we had kind of done a little bit of what's the life in our day of the life of everybody, and we had some various adventures that our characters took part in, and we were all going to be coming together. So why don't we? Unfortunately, we are missing Jen today, but we miss you, Jen. But we will continue on trying to get a little bit done. This may be a slightly shorter session. We do have some safety tools on the table. We have the lines and veils. We also have the X card. Folks at home, safety tools are good for your game. Everybody should use them. But let's have folks introduce themselves and their characters. Well, we already know you, Rich, but why don't you tell us about your character?
You bet. I am playing a Lejean, which is a priest. This priest is a priest of a drow goddess, although he's recently heard that the drow goddess may have originally come from an elven goddess, and that's given him some weird things to think about. He's known as Aramitz, but occasionally we may accidentally call him Amaritz, and that's okay. He will answer to either. He's very flexible that way. And his durance was as a hunter, and he does run a very small chapel in the area where most everybody else is very, very lower spire. That's Aramitz.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Sabine, introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Sabine. I use any pronouns. I'm playing Vizar, who is he or maybe they pronouns. Vizar is an inksmith. He writes for paper, Zats, and writes penny dreadfuls, I guess. And lately he has also started to work for Grey Manor Investigations. Vizar likes words, likes to talk, thinks he's great at talking, generally thinks he's great. And some people might call him Wazir, but he doesn't like that. He will roll his eyes extensively. So, yeah.
I feel so seen with both of these introductions thus far. Alex, introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
I'm Alex. I use he, him, and I'm playing Gerald, who also uses he, him. And so far, everyone's got his name every time. So he doesn't have an issue with that. He spent his durance as a spy, but with the kind of cover of being the head servant, one elf lord. He is the unofficial cell leader for this ministry group, and he's very good at sneaking and lying. And he may be under the sway of a masked god.
Maybe.
And he's also very cute, according to the chat.
So very, very true. And last but certainly not least, John, introduce yourself and your character.
I'm Jon, he, him pronouns. I play Zorden, also he, him pronouns. Zordin, during his durance, was a duelist for the resplendent dawn of resplendent first light of dawn. That was it. And after years and many more years even than was required for normal durance of service, he lost a duel and then got kicked out, and then became eventually a knight, because knights are just drunk assholes working for bars in this game. So that fit well with the way he was feeling anyway. But yeah, no, good at finding a bar, good at finding a fight.
Awesome, and great skills to have. So we're going to be picking up. We've had Vizar and Zord do a little light breaking and entering with Zordon's squire along to help. And as the two of you, y'all were heading off to find Fenara to get a little advice, and heading into the Azure Market, you see, heading down the stalls as you head to Fenara's tent, you see Gerald. Gerald, you probably see little above, a little larger than most of the drow here, Sword up ahead.
Ah, Zordin.
Daryl.
Daryl.
Oh,
Hi.
Bizarre. Bizarre.
Huh?
Here's
Oh,
that.
sorry.
Yes. Hi. What brings you here?
Taking my constitutional. And
That's-
you seem like you're on a mission.
We're off to see Fenara, and I heard she had blood oranges or something. Also, I have a question. Also, okay, I'll tell you, I've got this now. And he shows you the Grey Manor detective license.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Sar's
thank
a big shot now.
you. I get 10% off at the Kraken Bell.
Not just the Kraken Bell, though. Like,
Yeah, but why would I go anywhere else?
well, to be fair, there's actually, they have some really good ale in.
I'll take your word for it.
Pig and Whistle. Good atmosphere.
Okay.
Would you mind if I joined you?
In the Pig and Whistle. I mean, we were
Well-
not going there, but yeah, no, go ahead. Let's go.
No, let's go to talk to Fenara first, and maybe then later we can go to the Pig and Whistle all together. If that's what you want, Jeremy. I mean,
That sounds delightful. I'm
Okay.
trying not to touch the key in my pocket.
The three of you begin making your way over towards Fenara's Emporium. Four of you. I'm so sorry. I was almost forgetting. Remind us of her name and maybe give a quick description of her.
Tirza is my lovely squire, who is probably a much better would be a much better knight if knights were not so shitty anyway. But she actually believes in like doing a good job and.
By the way, was there any sign of a scuffle on Zordon? Or did you not even get a blow landed on you when you left
There's probably like a bit of a sign of scuffle, yeah.
Like maybe the other guy's blood.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would glance at it, glance at Tirza, raise an eyebrow.
She smiles a little and kind of, you could see that there's a kind of a proud look on her face. She seems to enjoy when Zordon fights. She likes that, and as you raise your eyebrow and Joel begin walking, she'll say kind of quietly so that you can hear, he wanna fight.
I would expect nothing less.
Nor would I. And as you come up to Fedara's Emporium, Aramitz, damn it. I think that you and Fedara are coming out from the back. You've had your nice little lunch and your conversation. And, you know, you may, you know, I'm not entirely sure how all of this has struck you. This information was kind of disturbing. I mean, it none of it came out pleasantly. Your options were not great.
No.
I
would imagine that shows on my face. I'm wearing the cares of my flock and our people.
And so the four of you, as you come walking up, you can see maybe Aramitz is a bit pensive, and you could see that Fenara is maybe, you know, got a little bit of a, you know, Fenara's sort of unflappable and it definitely has that, you know, like hand on shoulder sort with Aramitz, and they seem to be chatting about something as the two of you walk up.
And I say, hi, you look worried. And also you have blood oranges.
Yes.
I know what you need.
And
you need a drink.
Perhaps.
You could also talk to us about your woes, because we also have woes we want to talk to you about to Fenara. But, well, that is a bit of a exaggeration. Actually, I just have a question about a company that she might know about. That is actually, the name of it is Consolidated Food Works Incorporated.
Oh, you're forgetting the important part. Show him the badge.
Oh, right. I was ahead of myself. You are talking to an official Gray Manor investigator, and I show you my badge. And I stop grinning like crazy when I realize I'm doing that, but I am like, and then
we're heading over to the Pig and Whistle to celebrate.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Apparently we are. But I actually wanted to talk to you about this this company first, because, you know, the baker, the one who made this food thing scandal because he mixed in the fake mushrooms into his stuff, he wasn't acting on his own. He was being supplied by Consolidated Food Works Incorporated, which is not common knowledge for now. And I would ask you to keep it confidential.
They're a very large corporation. They supply raw materials for a lot of the people that bake, provide prepared foods.
It's not good then.
Well, a lot of companies find that slicing the margins however you can, padding their profits, well, the further you go down Spire, the less likely it is to cause a problem.
Okay then.
If there's anything I can do to help, I'm sure I would.
I'll come back to you with more questions probably. And if you really want to help me, I'm so hungry. I could use a blood orange right now. Just one.
Certainly. And she will smile and hand you a blood orange, and I'm going to presume take out a pad and write down a running total on a tab, but that may not be accurate. We'll let the player decide that. I just sort of see it. But as she says, if you're going to celebrate, I do have several things that I still need to do before the workday is over, but perhaps I can meet up with you later in the evening.
Sure.
Sure. You probably find us by the noise of sword and singing.
It does.
Aramis, whatever you decide, I'll back your play.
Thank you, Fanara. I appreciate that.
I'll see you all soon.
Mhm.
Good luck.
And
Do we like smash cut to the pig and
Sure.
whistle, or
And so I tell us then, Jan, what is the pig and whistle? What's it look like?
There's a giant stuffed boar standing in the middle of the of the floor with sort of tables around it, and there's probably like I'm guessing like it's not actually a whistle. There's like a hunting horn that's hanging above it, and there's a whole story behind it. But
Is this a bar that has its own night order, or is this more like neutral ground, or
they
what is it?
have their own order. Yeah.
Oh, how do you get along with them?
Okay, like they tend to like doing jousts, and I'm all for that.
Okay, so at the moment there's not like active hostilities between your order and them.
No.
Okay.
Friendly competition.
Aramis, the bartender here is actually a member of your congregation. Tell me, what was it that you did to convince him to come and join the congregation after so many years of not being devout?
some say that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. That often is true, but for Karist here, the way to his heart or his soul was through his lover. So he was brought along when she started to attend the chapel, and by befriending her, Karist has become more regular attendee of the chapel services. I don't count on him being there for every service, but he's there more than he is not.
Okay, and as you come in, I think he nods over towards you and gives a smile, maybe a little surprised to see you in the company of Sword. And I don't know if it's something he always sees you with a rival knight, but he will kind of wave and drinks.
Yes, please. Please. Thank you. Thank you, Carabas. How are you? Are you well, Karist?
He kind of looks around, looks a little embarrassed. Yes, Father, I'm doing quite well, thank you. I'm sorry I missed last week. Bit of the the self-induced headache.
Well, take care of yourself and come back when you're able.
Thank you, Father. Would you care for something to eat as well?
Yes, please. Whatever you recommend. I trust your judgment.
I'll make sure we pull a scoop from the bottom, sir.
Thank you.
Cheryl, you have is this the sort of establishment you frequent?
I think I occasionally will do a round dressed quite differently and just listen in on things. Just nondescript clothes and trying not to draw attention.
What is it that you've heard from this night order that makes you realize they're probably involved in smuggling?
I think their knight has some sort of equipment, weapon that is obviously out of Spire. Something brought in, something a bit more unusual, which they've, maybe shouldn't be showing off. But if they're anything like Zordon, they can't help themselves.
Nice. And we'll put in, I think it's worth putting in the pig and whistle. I'm just gonna, to the right of our NPCs, I'm gonna put pig and let's see. I wonder if I'm spelling whistle right. Oh, but I did a terrible job with my caps lock.
I mean,
There we go.
it's probably not spelled. Like, there's just a picture.
There we go. And I'll put a bar. There we go. Just so we can remember it's there. And Bizarre, you managed to get a magnificent story out of this Knight's Order in the fairly recent past. What was it that you wrote about them?
Oh, I think they had a joust actually with, and it was a bit more. There were some, let's say, some students or something from Haven, from Spire, Haven or something, who were like, yeah, we're going to show you how to really do this. And well, it didn't go so well for them, kind of obviously, because these guys here do nothing but drink and joust. So, and I wrote a piece about it that was rather snarky, and my editor was not that happy afterwards, because then some of these Haven guys came down and were very unfriendly towards him and tried to find me and to be unfriendly towards me. But I liked it, and the pig and whistle guys liked it as well. So
I think so too. And so when you come in, there's several other. It's the Inksmith. Hey, Bizarre! Drink for Bizarre on us.
thank you. Hello again, everyone. These are friends of mine. I mean, Sorden and the rest are also friends of mine.
A couple of them narrowed their eyes over at Zordon, but they, knowing you're their friend, one of them will say, "Not coming in for a challenge, are you, Zordon?"
No, I came here for the ale.
All right. They look around, and you are heavily outnumbered. Just don't cause any trouble. We'll keep the truce.
Well, I mean, I won't if you want.
One of them smiles. No problems. No problems.
Do I get to ride the pig later?
There's a round of
Robin.
laughter at that. And one of them says, "I don't think you could stay on." But they give you a table, and the bartender comes around with full beers, not all foam, which is something sort of you've had to deal with in the past, and bowls of a rather fragrant, nice smelling stew. And they give you a bit of privacy.
So Aramis, what was the deal there? I mean, you look like you had news about your uncle's ulcer or something like that.
I've never been good at masking my concerns. I ran into a neighbor, which is Aramitz's term for one of our people and near us that I don't want to get too much into. And he was beset by the after effects of a very dangerous drug called Drek. Have you heard of this?
Heard of it? Yeah, I haven't had the chance to get my fingers on it, though.
I've seen a few of them out and about. A nasty substance.
Working with Fanara, we found that this Drek is actually a very addictive drug that comes from a poor, dirty sulfur, meaning that it is a product of play with demons.
Wow.
That I didn't know.
Okay.
Fanara recommended that we bring this to the ministry, but I think she's wise in most things, but what do you... It is a real and present threat to our people. I've seen it firsthand, what it does to folks, and is spreading like wildfire, not here, but up Spire as well.
We could
I would
talk to...
worry.
Go ahead, Sharon. Sorry.
I would worry that if it doesn't strike a blow against the Elfia, that maybe the ministry wouldn't prioritize it. I'm not saying we shouldn't, but I don't know if we can count on the ministry to back us.
My concern as well, and I respect that. The ministry has a very heavy burden and a goal that we all agree with. I wish no quarrel with the ministry over this, but I want to save our people. And this puts them in danger.
Yeah, well, Gerald, do you think that they say we should keep our hands off it? Because sometimes it's easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission, if you catch my drift.
I do. Tyler, do you think I would have any instincts either way on their kind of reaction, or?
Honestly, this is a worthy sort of concern. Now, whether or not they want your cell to look into it, but this is a danger. So, and it is expected for a cell who discovers something to report. Part of getting things together for the ministry is getting information, and so they can deal with it. So it might be worth going to them. Now, that said, the other side of it is they may say, thank you for telling us, do not engage with this. We will decide how best to handle it.
Now, I do believe that we should go to them, but do we believe we have enough information yet? I mean,
We don't have a lot.
we don't have names.
Point of fact,
We
I
don't
do
have
have. He like grabs a few like sheets of paper where he's taking some hasty notes. I do have a name, a dealer, local, probably low on the tree, as it were, or perhaps a far out branch, but still, Dark in the Eye is his name. I assume a he.
I'm sure we could find this gentleman and maybe get to the root.
This thing, yeah, getting to the root is kind of my thing, right? I would like to, oh man, look, I would like to get into the whole bakery scandal thing where they are feeding kind of stuff that is not healthy to our people, and now this, maybe it's connected. Because, I mean...
Do you have a thread that we can follow with your concerns?
I have a name. Well, this consolidated thing, sure, and they have a name for a supplier, but it is just a code name. Catnip, I think was.
Fish.
Catfish, right? Sorry, something with a cat. Anyway, catfish. So.
Might I suggest we split our concerns and?
Yeah. I mean, we are more than enough people to split our concerns. I mean, I could do a little snooping around with this drag stuff.
Well, I would love your help, Vizar.
Sure. Hermits. I mean, you know, anything if you pray for me, I'll do a lot of things for you. And then we get you.
I might be able to help as well.
Possibly,
Know some people that, could acquire stuff like that.
and we have a name from you, Aramis. So I'm sure me and Zordon could secure further names.
So I'm clear. We're talking about doing this of our own volition, and at this point, we will not involve the ministry. Is that
We're
where-
just getting more information that we can
Yes,
take
I
to the
mean,
ministry.
I would wish to burden them with useless concerns before we really have any answers. Waste their time, which I'm
Or-
sure is precious.
Or have any real leads we can follow. And
And
also,
if we gain results before at the same time,
if this really involves demonology, this is going higher up than just a few street things. I'm not sure for who profits. That's all. I mean, I've learned that in the library. The question you always have to ask is who profits from this? Where does the money go, right?
I mean, I know who doesn't profit from it. Hey, Aramis, so your neighbor, how's your neighbor doing? And should I have a chat with them as well?
You are muted, my love.
muted.
I believe my neighbor is doing as well as can be expected. He's down on his luck in many ways. But thank you so much.
I know the feeling, so if he's not listening.
I think he's listening, but, and of course, this is Aramis realizing, hey, Zordon wants to reach out to someone. I am not going to discourage this at all. I am looking through my notes. Do we remember the name of the Clive? Clives? I think that's the name of the person with the shakes.
Yes.
Clives. My neighbor is Clives, Zordon. Do you remember him? I can tell you where you can find him if you wanted to check on him.
Yeah,
I'm sure that it would do him a wonder of good.
I don't think I know him yet, but maybe because apparently that can sometimes help to talk.
Like lean across and squeeze your shoulder. This makes me very happy. Like I am 100% encouraging this.
Oh, that's very
I was
nice.
a bit bashful. Right. So, where are we going?
Well, I believe me and Bizarre will be tackling this
Arc in the eye.
food issue.
Oh,
No, the food issue. Okay, well, we could go for that. Look for catfish. You sure that you don't want to tackle this drug dealer?
Well, I believe we can do good if we spread our focus
Okay.
and draw less attention to ourselves and our.
Yeah, the true point is here that I want to clear this whole thing up with the Grey Manor guys because they gave me this to write a puff piece about them. And if I start investigating the things that they have missed, I mean, I should at least talk to them before I do that. You know?
If we have a location, we have a company name,
We have a
so we can get the
company name.
location.
Yeah, well, location
And
is pretty simple. I
I'm
mean, I know
sure-
where they are.
I'm sure they may leave some papers lying around that they wouldn't mind us having a little look at.
Yeah, that's how this started out, looking at papers. I mean, I like looking at papers.
Would you care for company, Bizarre?
No, yes, I mean, yeah, he gets a little flustered and almost spills his ale. Oh, well, yeah, sure. Like, company is fine.
I chair back, stand up, run my hands over my, just straightening my coat. And
I stop
you.
staring at you and get up myself.
All right.
Are you not going to finish that?
Oh wow.
I just
You want it?
gesture my
Yeah,
hand so my drink.
go ahead. Yeah, sure.
And so the
Enough.
two of you head
Okay.
out.
Yeah.
As you leave the bar, that Aramis and Sorden, that sounds like the two of you are going to go and maybe look at Blacks in the Eye, or
Yeah, the three of us shall.
the three of you, correct?
Yep.
She's so quiet, I forget about her sometimes. All right then. So as you part, I think we'll take a bio break here, and then we'll come back and figure out what's going on. So,
And we're back.
well, I think we're going to start with Zordon and Aramis, because I think this will be fun and interesting. So the two of you are going to try and find three. Yes. The three of you are going to try and find Blacks in the Eye, I believe is the intent here. I don't want to get too much in the weeds on like looking for a mid-range level drug dealer. So I'm not wanting a whole bunch of roles in this. I'd just like to know, how are you trying to find him?
Well, Soren will definitely suggest that he knows some dealers that might know that specific dealer.
Okay, so the intent is maybe working your way through contacts to find where to find this guy. Cool. Excellent.
Aramis also has other plans, but
yeah, Aramis, is that...
No, that sounds fun. Do your thing, Zordon. I am here to support you.
And are these folks that used to sell to you, Zordon?
Yes.
All right. Again, I don't want to get in the weeds, but I think you'll, as you're working your way through, there's sort of this feel of a couple of different, we don't see you much anymore, Zordon. You used to be a good customer. Now you're just coming around wanting to get names?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, if you're not buying products, then I got to charge you for names.
Very well.
Well, all right. You hand off a little coin, and Blacks in the Eye, he's got a little shop. Not really a shop. He's got a hovel where people come in, they can do his shit. Me, I don't deal in that crap he's dealing. No profit in it. All you're doing is making crazy people. You know what they do? They go down, they start building shit, or they stab you. I ain't messing with that.
Building is bad.
Things they build? Buddy, I saw 6 of them get together, and they started carving up out of the mud this statue of a thing. It'll haunt your nightmares, this thing they were making. And when they finished, they all took a knife and they slit their palms and let the blood drip all over it.
Sounds like a lovely drug.
I am going to break a little of what I said here because Aramids, I would like for you to roll hearing this.
Yeah? What am I
Yeah.
rolling? We're going to be taking some stress here?
Yeah. I think we have mind as a potential stress here.
Okay.
And this is pursue and religion.
Pursue and religion. Wow, interesting. Okay. 3d10, one for trying, one because I have pursue, one because I have religion. Thanks for giving me pursue, by the way.
Correct.
That's the first time I've pursued anything. So yay,
Mhm.
hooray. Here we go. 10.
Oh, fantastic. You take no stress, though hearing him talk about this and remembering the things you'd heard before.
Right. Clives had told me about the weird building stuff. Yeah.
Something snaps in your mind. Eidolons. And I could spell that for you if you'd like to stick it in your notes. It is E-I-D-O-L-O. Yeah. E-I-D-O-L-O-N.
I know that only because of Swords Without Master. But go ahead.
I know it from D&D had a gin thing with it. But these are things that are used to channel demonic energy. They can be a device or a structure, an item, sometimes even a person can become this. But it channels demonic energies.
I reckon Bell used to be one.
It did. But that strikes you as he's saying this. He says, but he continues with you sort of, yeah, I'm not messing with any of that, but Black's he's willing to deal it. Making his money. Got a few thugs around him. In that hovel, he lets people get all hopped up on it. You'll be able to find him. It's pretty easy to get there, but they're not going to be friendly. Go to the other side of the give me 2 seconds. I'm sorry. Let me pull up my map. There we go. North side of the castle. You start looking for people talking to themselves and the shakes. You'll know you're in the right place. He's got a spot. He's calling it the Abyss. They sell drinks, but that ain't where he's making his money. Don't tell him I told you, Zordon.
My lips are sealed.
Watch yourself. Even that fancy armor. These people are crazy. Crazy. Remember, you ever get any little pains or aches, Zordon?
Yeah,
I got the medicine, buddy.
But no thanks.
You sure? Hey.
Like to be able to keep this job for now.
Well,
and
we're friends, Zordon. You've already given me money for this. How about a packet for free, buddy?
He said no. He said no, friend.
Like there's just definitely like anger and like how about
all right. I'm just trying to be friendly.
Yes, well, no hard feelings for dealings in the past. I'm done.
Sure, Zord. Be seeing you, buddy.
I definitely shoulder check him on the way out.
And as soon as we're clear, I say, I am so proud of you, Zordon.
Don't start.
No, it's not in front of anyone else. I mean, of course, it's in front of you, Thurza, but I was worried, but I should not have been.
Okay, fine, whatever. Let's go.
You kind of said that to Thorza, but as you've kind of walked a little bit away and the two of you are conversing, you notice Thorza she's not there at the moment.
Where'd you go?
We should go find her. Perhaps she decided to chase down a different lead.
And then I think Sorting goes like, wait. Maybe we should backtrack just a bit.
The two of you head back, and you soon see Thorza moving up towards you. She's got a smile on her face. Sorry, I didn't mean to fall behind.
I look for signs of a scuffle.
She may have a little bit of a stain on her sleeve.
And there's like a...
Is there something wrong, Sir Sorton?
What did you do?
I had a brief conversation with your friend, Sir Sorton. That is all.
Did you kill him?
Of course not.
Okay, then fine. Let's keep going. But careful.
The three of you.
He has friends.
The three of you make your way past the castle and into the north side of that neighborhood. It is very dark over in this area. The mage lights are infrequent and dim. More likely, you're to find kind of guttering bits of light in barrels or in the kind of open fires where people are cooking food. This neighborhood is some of the more impoverished down here.
Except for the castle itself.
Oh, the castle, yeah, the castle has no problems at all. But this north side neighborhood, and as you're going through, you see people moving about, kind of got that furtive look of watching their back, being careful. And you do see a few folks muttering or shaking or in ribald, exultation, very happy, kind of boisterous enjoyment of the evening. As you're walking by, you see a couple of them kind of scuffling as they're fighting with each other. They're laughing as they hit each other back and forth. But as you make your way, following the direction you were given, down an alley, you see a small storefront. There's no sign, but there is kind of scrawled on the wall what looks like a descending hole. Kind of got that spiraling, just done as more of a pictograph. This would be the abyss you were pointed to. There's a big guy out front. He's wearing some armor and has a pretty good sized club on the side of his belt there.
So a knight then.
No, the armor he's wearing is like pieced together in leather. He's staying within legality. He is not a knight. And no sword. Again, just a club. Can I help you?
Well, we would like to go inside.
Looks you both over. Yeah. What sort of business you have here?
Buying some goods. Right? Right.
It gives you a look, Aramis. You're the goody-goody priest. I've seen you around the neighborhood.
Do I know him? Yes. I am a Lejean.
You'll pardon me if I don't really think you're here to purchase any of our goods. My guess is you're here to try and save some unfortunates.
And if I were, what would you say?
I would say, walk your happy ass back down the way you came and no one gets hurt.
That's not going to happen. You're just going to allow us to enter, right?
Kind of swells up a little. I got plenty of boys back there. You gonna cause trouble, big man?
Oh, you need boys, so sorry. I thought a big guy like yourself, you could take care of yourself, but
He
guess you
puts
need
his
boys.
hand down on the club. Says, I'm not scared, but I like to have certainties. You cause problems, I'm going to cave in your skull, and then they're going to come out and piss in the hole I make.
Yeah, I think that's not wise for any of us, friend.
Agreed. Thank you for dropping by. We do not need any of your religion here, sir.
Sort of looking over to Aramis like, can I?
Oh, you get the nod.
It's like, right. First thing I do is boom, swing.
All right, well, we're going to blows. That sounds like a fight.
I'm picking a fight, yeah, I suppose. And I want to win.
Oh, is that how we're going to want to pick a fight?
Yeah, I'm picking a fight, yeah.
All right. So, and you want to win, so
Yes.
I think that you're using your works much per situation here. So I think that you walk up and you see him move towards that club like he's going to bring it out. And as you say, you clock him and thump. He fought one punch and he just crumples to the ground.
I think we're allowed to come in now.
Thank you, Zordon. I bend down and I say, may her light bless you.
He's quite unconscious.
That's fine. I believe he hears.
And you step through the door, and the first thing that hits you is the smell. It is people who have stopped caring about themselves. There is sweat and dirt, vomit. It is dark, and there are a couple of mage lights up in here and a couple of candle and lamps, but it's like those lights make the shadows so much darker. You see people at tables kind of scratching and jittering. You see a few folks kind of lined up towards the back of the room at a door. And you see a guy who's behind a bar, and the bar there, no one's drinking in here, Sword. It's like blasphemy. This guy looks up and he goes, hey, what are y'all doing in here?
We came to talk.
What? Bruno there should have stopped you at the door.
No, Bruno let us in.
Oh, he kind of moves around. Are you don't look like our normal customers. What can I get for you?
Well, depends. What do you have?
You want
we've heard some good stuff about what was it called, Hermits?
Drek?
Drek, right?
Oh, well, sure. Have a seat. The boss see you shortly.
Thank you.
And he scuttles off to the back. The two of you looking around, again, this is just a hole of despair. It does not feel safe. And I'm going to leave the two of you there in this place of degradation as I shift over. Gerald, Bazaar, the two of you are enjoying a stroll out of Pilgrim's Walk. Where are y'all heading?
Whereabouts is the, I keep forgetting the name of the...
Consolidated Foodworks Incorporated.
Up at the gardens and the algae farms.
Yeah, there were the algae farms. We will probably have to sneak, which I'm amazingly not good at.
Bizarre, I'm here for you with that.
And good thing that you can see that somebody gets blushes because, dark elf. And Bizarre says kind of quietly, like, yeah, wish. Which you probably can hear, which she probably maybe wants to. Who knows? He doesn't. So, yeah. Okay. How or should we just go in and talk our way in, because that's where I'm a little better. Also, I have this license thingy here. We can see if we can rattle something up.
Do we wish to show our hands straight away?
No, probably not. I have other passes. I mean, I'm a writing guy, right?
We should get you to some papers then.
I do have papers.
I feel those should be a plan B in case we're found.
Oh, okay. I can always claim that this is research for my newest installment of the, what's his name? I gave the series a name, so I have to look it up. Of my garage series. So, I mean,
A
it's
worthy
worked.
adventure.
It's
Yeah.
worked before. Not well, to be honest, but it worked. I mean, they still didn't like me being there, but at least they believed I had a sort of semi-legitimate reason, right? Wait, do you read? Have you read that? What I wrote?
Yes.
Oh,
I think I'm lying.
I can't tell. I say, oh wow, okay.
I do try and read all your work. It's
Well,
it is you're certainly prolific.
I am, yeah, and
I think I'm now like kind of slightly ignoring Bazaar as I kind of check out the building. I want to see if I can see some way in that's would be the kind of with the least traffic.
Here, you're in the Garden District looking up towards it. It is a big facility. They have a kind of factory front, which is where they process things, and then stretching behind it is acres and acres of the algae farms. Kind of think along the lines of like rice paddies, except instead of rice, you have the thick scum of algae across the top that is harvested. The factory itself would be where they, in a lot of cases, would dry the algae and process it, making flour or that sort of thing. But Consolidated, its offices are there, the factory as well. They also do other things from like smaller farms. They would bring in mushrooms, or they would bring in, all sorts of things. There's a heavy supply. There's a great deal of like insect type foods that are done, mealworm type food or crickets or things like that are processed as well for food.
It seems like there'd be a lot of just general traffic who wouldn't have to be super sneaky at the moment.
Correct.
Unless we were going in. But could I use my smelling of status to find out who's, what's the wording? You know precisely who to talk to or who to take out to get things done. Once per session, ask the GM who's really in charge here.
Okay.
I can find out easily, or I already know thanks to connections.
All right. Then what are you looking for? Someone who's like an executive of the company, or someone who's like a foreman of things that goes on? What are you focusing in on here?
I think I would like an executive. Preferably, say, this height, this build.
I think that makes perfect sense. That I think that you see a gentleman that is one of the board members of Consolidated. Probably you recognize him because he's at least a big enough person to deal with both the high elves and the upper crust as well as lower down, because they want specialty foods, they want the best. He's kind of a liaison type. And you see him, and he's coming out, he's got like 3 or 4 people around him, look like they're his assistant types, and you see him coming out and heading towards a carriage. Now carriages here, we don't have mounts, so in fact it's more like a rickshaw, a 6-person pulling rickshaw. Do you wish to approach him, or do you wish to be taking advantage of him leaving?
Bizarre. I hope you have a false name on hand.
Catfish. It's
It's
not the
beautiful.
plume. It's not.
And
That's what somebody's called.
Ducking behind a structure very quickly, I will switch to my citizen's mask, somebody who doesn't attract huge amounts of attention, and start heading towards the executive.
All right. So heading up to him.
Yeah.
All right. As you approach, you can hear him say, I expect all of this to be taken care of immediately. I don't want to be waiting. This is money we're talking about, and money waits for no man.
Sir, one of the foremans asked for you. We needed a decision really. I was told right now.
Speak up, man. What?
I was told we I point towards one of the buildings. But we needed an answer straight away. And he said the only person who could give the go-ahead was you. I'm sorry.
Goodness gracious, by the goddess.
And I'm trying to get him alone in the building.
All right, he turns around. Get this handled as his people scattered, and he begins following you. You enter into what seems like probably an executive entrance. So, as he walks by a guard, once you pass that guard, you have him alone.
Can I just trudge along? Cool. Nice. I'll keep my nose out for trouble because once per scene, I can ask the GM what's weird or out of place here, but I'll wait until we're in the executive building.
Okay. Joe, what are you doing?
Are we alone within?
Yeah. You're he's moved along. You're in a hallway, a short hallway. It's just the three of you.
I would like to knock him out and.
All right.
I would rather not use the dagger.
Okay. Then I think this is probably like a sneak. Since you're trying to be surreptitious about knocking someone out, and he's blathering away of, which way are we going? Who needs me here?
It was, they were heading inwards to the, and I.
Then I'll say, hey, wait, I see him over there. I think it's you over there. So that he.
And I point my arm past his head and then put the arm around his neck, try and choke him out.
All right. Why don't we do sneak?
And I feel like since I don't have my sneak knack taken, this might be a good time to sneak. Dirty work.
What was it?
Dirty work,
Oh, I like that. Okay. Yeah.
Doing.
Is there a way to help?
There is.
Okay.
So you will add another die because it sounds like Vizar is helping you.
Sure.
You've got your sneak and your knack. That gives you 2 plus your base. That's up to 4.
4 with the help.
4 with the help.
Yep.
I'm not sure your domain is going to help you here right now. High society is sort of a thought, but what you're doing is not really high society.
No. And just the way that's to be choked out, yes. Okay, I will roll. 6 is my best result.
Oh my gracious. Success.
Did you roll d10s?
I did.
Wow.
I did.
All right. Well, you've got a success, but you are going to take stress for this. And I think that this is shadow because we're dealing with you trying to sneak around. So I think we're looking at a I think we're looking at a D6 here.
Okay. I roll that now. Yeah.
Correct.
Um,
And you will take this stress as well. Bizarre.
and I want really high numbers, don't I?
You probably want really low.
Got 5.
Both of you will take 5 on your shadow.
So the first 2, because I have 2 in shadow resistance, get ignored, so it'd be 3. Is that right? How it works?
What you'll do is just put in under the second spot after.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and add it, the full amount.
Yeah.
And then it'll show you your total.
3, yeah.
So there you are. We'll look at Fallout here in a moment.
I mean, I'm trying to put him into a room that looks unused. Strip off his.
You have no problem. Yeah, he's out, and you slide him to the side. But this was.
By the way, was he drow or was he?
He's drow. Yeah. But he kicked a bit. There was a gurgle, kind of choked scream before he went out. But you put him to the side and into a room there.
Be a dear Vizar and keep an eye on the door. Why?
That was a bit louder than I thought it would be.
Out of practice. I apologize.
Fine, all good. If we get thrown in a cell, at least we'll be together.
Quite, yes.
Rich, would you do me a quick favor? I have someone knocking at my door. Will you pause this just a second? We'll be right.
And we're back.
Cool. Thank you. So he's out, but it is very possible that someone may have heard that someone may be coming soon.
Ah, well, anything for a good story. What does my nose for trouble tell me here? What's out of place so strange about this? What should I be looking at?
And if it's not in the immediate room, I think I would direct us to leave out the opposite side of the building as quick as possible. Go up and investigate things now. We've got to,
We're here to investigate things. Come on.
All right. I think your nose for trouble is going to tell you, as you've pulled this guy, kind of put him in, basically it's a conference room in this hall, so it's empty, but there's a little table and desk. But as you kind of laid him to the side there, out from his pocket has come his little notebook, Bizarre. And as you know, I mean, it's almost instinctual for you to pick it up and grab it.
Sure.
And leafing through, you can see where he is having meetings with various board members, various higher ups in the Spire on the profitability that they're dealing with here in the company. And as you're reading through it, you can see where a lot of what they're supplying, the same things, same products being supplied down below, have a higher profit margin. It's clear that somehow he's making a bigger profit on this.
Because he cuts the stuff. Okay. Nice.
And you can also get a name for him, and we'll call him Mr. Beauregard.
Mr. Beauregard. Very southern.
I say.
Okay, Mr. Beauregard. Does he have an office?
Yeah, I think that probably at the beginning of this, he's the sort of person, if found, please deliver to Beauregard's office, 2nd floor, executive suite.
Let's go look at that.
Well, I
Come on,
it's
Gerald.
probably best we leave the scene of the crime. like you
Come
say.
on, no risk, no risk, no gain.
Okay. Arrogant face on. I probably have a mask.
Look, Gerald, if we're caught, knock me out or pretend to knock me out and then pretend to be some sort of guard or something. I mean, you're good at pretending, and then you can drag me out to my just punishment, and then we'll get out, hopefully. Okay? Yeah?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, cool.
All
No,
right.
I would plan to leave out the building, find the other building, have guards. Like, you move out of the way.
All right. You're moving through out of this kind of entryway and heading towards the offices. That's where you're going?
Mhm. Yeah.
All right. You pass through, and you do have to deal with a guard or two.
Open the door.
Sorry, yeah, and they will open up.
The guards here. They take it as well. Make a note of that.
Your
The guards.
mask you're wearing, Gerald. What are you projecting?
I think it's one of my fancier masks for. I think I would use it if I was maybe being like a head servant, an elf lord, a high elf. So it would be quite a fancy one, I think.
Okay. Why don't we just put a roll down? This is quite dangerous since, again, we're going after Shadow. But this will be kind of our roll to see if y'all can make it all the way through and get to the executive office you're looking for.
I'm deceiving.
I think so.
I'm totally
well,
helping.
I can use the knack disguise on the fly.
Oh, excellent. Good show.
And I'm so helping.
You are helping. Excellent. Takes us to 4.
These are all better this
I
time.
think I've got any. Yeah, so 4.
Excellent. All righty. It's got to be better than last time.
Mhm.
You'd be surprised.
Mhm.
And it can be.
There's a 10.
There's a 10 in there.
Ooh.
I don't know what in there, but we can ignore that.
You can ignore that. And I think that your demeanor as you're passing through people, they are getting out of your way. You slide straight through to the office of JP Beauregard. I think it's Vice President of Public Relations. I think that's probably what's on his door.
Is there like a assistant secretary, you think, in the outer room?
Yeah. As you come in, we see someone. Hello, can I help you?
Have we got nothing better to do? Beauregard will be. I was told you ran an office with efficiency. Go do something.
Well, yes, of course, yes.
Go. Sorry.
Of course, yes. And they go running out the door, looking as though they're not sure what they're going to do, but knowing it needs to be done quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I glance out the door.
Okay.
Well, at least 10 minutes, so.
Yeah. I'll poke through
what
here.
What should we be looking for?
The interesting stuff. That's what we should be looking for. And I mean,
will help.
Yeah, thank you. I will do an investigate, and I also have this thorough investigator move that says you know instinctively which clue is the most important in a given scene. So if there's more than one clue.
Nice. And I think that this investigate conspiracy knack may come into play.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see. Probably your domains are not helping at the moment.
Probably not. No, I don't see. I think that would be a commerce, but that's still. There's one basic die, 2 for one investigate, 1 knack, and 1 for the help. Right? That's 4 dice.
I'm guessing yes.
And we're rolling d10s. We'll not forget that soon. Okay, so I'm rolling. Come on. There's a 10, look.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I think
Very good.
quickly going through his desk, going through all of the paperwork he has on there. I'm gonna put it straight across. You have gotten the evidence that will bust an enormous story about how this company is indeed sending not only shoddy but dangerous products down to pilgrims and lower, and using those same price scales on them that they use on higher up. This is the sort of story that could blow the lid off this company. But it would probably make powerful enemies.
I'm fine with powerful enemies.
And so, having collected this evidence, and the two of you having made a distraction, you can leave out of here.
Yeah, I think Gerald's getting antsy enough that we should.
And so you head out of the office. As around you, you begin to hear a bit of a noise and a jump. That man jumped me. I don't know where coming up the hallway.
I'm definitely unbuttoning the jacket that I got off from Beauregard as I step up my pace. I don't want to look like either the person who led him into to ambush him, or
I think that you pass by kind of at a distance as you see Beauregard looking red in the face with guards around him heading towards us. I tell you, get someone, find that man. There were two of them, I tell you. Said I just needed him. As you make your way out into the street.
Well, I felt productive. Is all.
That went very well. That I've got what I need. Thanks for help, Gerald. I really appreciate it. You're so good at this.
It helps to practice regularly.
Well, I'll leave your name out of this. I imagine that. What you want?
Yes, I appreciate that.
Okay. It might go into the Garas mysteries, but you know the character I'm talking about. I wink at you.
Of course.
And I wonder about what your reaction means here, because that is clearly a very. I have a character in these things that are maybe a bit inspired about Gerald, but he's very dreamy. So I wonder at that there's no reaction at all. I feel a bit crestfallen.
Yeah, I don't. There's no blow to the cheeks or anything.
No. Yeah, like I feel a bit crestfallen that there is no reaction at all.
And so you leave with a bit of chaos behind you. We'll talk about some fallout potential here in a few, but I think we're going to cut back to a much less pleasant scene. As inside the abyss, a door opens in the back as the bartender comes out and says, Blacks will see you.
Thank you. I'll stand up and walk through the doorway.
You're
right behind.
You go down a hallway, open doors to either side, and you see people kind of in throes of addiction. In some of these rooms, they're like kind of frantically, like you'll see some folks are like dancing, trying to enjoy themselves, and then like just a next door down, you'll see people who clearly have been in a fight, kind of both laid out and bloodied. But all around is that smell, that terrible dark smell. At the end of the hallway, the bartender opens up a door, and you come into an office. It is cleaner than the rest of the place, but still something about it, just everything feels dirty here. And a man stands up. He is a drow, small, thin. I don't think either of you have met Blacks in the Eye before. He stands up from behind it's a table. He doesn't really even have a desk. It's just a table. There are several chests and crates around him. There is another door out of this room. And kind of leaning up against the wall behind him, you see two quite bulky, large men. They do have illegal weapons on them. Well, one of them has an axe of good size. The other has a long knife, which he's currently paring his nails with. The man at the table stands up and says, welcome. I heard you were wanting to procure something.
I understand you're called Blacks in the Eye. Is that correct?
Yeah, you are?
I am Aramitz, La Jeanne of Limbier, a blessed lady.
I've heard of you. You started that chapel in the walk.
I did, yes.
Wouldn't have imagined you were here to buy anything.
Oh. Your imagination is correct. I may have misled your fellows. I wanted to talk to you.
About what?
About Drek.
Oh, that's my business. So, what you want to talk about it?
When I first met one of the people who are using Drek and saw how he had the shakes and how he spoke about that delirium that he felt when he took Drek, I thought to myself, as I said to him, I understand the temptation. We have a hard life. We are all drow. I understand that from time to time, using something to bring about even the briefest moment of joy is a choice I can understand.
Everybody needs a little release.
It's true. It is true. Especially those of us who are down here so far on Spire. But
Got their foots on us this low.
they do. And I'm sure there are others who pressure you, Blacks in the Eye. I'm sure that it cannot be easy to see what Drek does to the people who take it.
You gotta preach me a sermon, holy man?
I care for you. I care for the drow. I care for our people. And as a Lejean, I think of the drow like a tree that is denied water, that is denied what it needs to truly grow. And I want that tree to become healthy and strong. And Blacks in the Eye, if that tree has a disease on it, I have to trim that away. Do you understand?
Sounds a little like a threat, creature.
I am asking you, Blacks in the Eye, please stop dealing direct to the people. This is not something that I could ask you to cut back so that people could wean themselves off of it. It is a product of sulfur. You know this. Surely you know this. You are trucking in the things. These people are doing demons' work. I am asking you, drow to drow, Blacks in the Eye, find something else to bring these people these moments of joy. Deal in something else.
I think we're gonna do a roll here. I think we're looking. This would be a compel.
Yup. Fucking compel. You really wish I had compel.
Yeah. Low society. You might have some help here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I definitely want to help, but I think the help is sort of in the way of like, the to back up the part where it might become a threat, where it's like, he wants to trim it away and like, look, you can do this the way he's asking you to do it.
Yeah, he's the
Or
trimmer.
there's the other way.
He's my pruner.
All right. So it looks like 3 dice. No difficulty on this, but he does have a little resistance. So
fair enough. Let me just take a quick glance. I don't think I have any advances that will help me here. Abilities. It's just not. Yeah. Nope. I'm always sticking my nose where I'm not good at. It's good. Oh, God.
How'd you do?
A 1 and 2 2s.
Oh, my.
That doesn't even add up to a success.
Oh, my.
2. 2 is my result. Failure, take stress.
Yep.
That feels about right.
So, well, at least you did have the 1. You did get the 2s in there. So it is a double stress.
What kind of stress are we taking here?
You will be taking, I think this is going to be it's reputation.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Rich, would you roll a D3?
Yes, and I have a thing for reputation hit, I think.
Okay.
I'm happy at least I have some reputation to.
So I can mark stress on myself to remove it from an ally. Each point I mark removes 2 points of stress from them. So just okay. So what did you say for the stress? I'm sorry. What did I roll?
D3.
Okay. D3. I guess I will try this. I'm going to try to create a custom die. I think I can do this. Add die. All right, see what we do. Ah, fudge. It's a 3.
All right. So you're each taking 3 reputation. Are you taking some of his?
Yes, I will. I don't want the guy they have to fight our way out of here to be super stressed. So I will take I'll take 1 stress, which means it knocks it down to 1 rep that you take instead of 3, because it's 2 for 1. And that means I'm taking 4.
4. Correct.
And I already had 1, it looks like. Yeah, okay. So I'm at 5. 5 reputation stress.
I believe that was from last session, yeah.
Okay.
As he goes, look, I don't want to have trouble with you. I'll be honest with you. If I weren't here, someone else will sell it. It's coming from above. I am just the guy who has it right now. Look, you want to save these folks. Save them. Convince them not to come along. I don't have a problem with that. I don't go out on the streets. They come to me. If there's no customers, I'll deal in something else. But you come into my house, you give me this goody stuff. You ain't buying it here, Father. Take your wares elsewhere.
I think Sordin will sort of pipe in, and I'm also triggering a move with this, but I think Sordin will go like, I believe I should introduce myself. You may have heard of me. My name is Sordin. Now, maybe the name Sordin might not ring a bell to you immediately, but I'm sure you've heard of the duelist that fought for resplendent first light of dawn. Now, I don't want to cause any trouble, of course, but your bodyguards and everyone here, it will not be an issue for me. And I'm triggering my braggadocio. Once per session, I automatically convince an NPC that I can achieve something. Whether or not I'm able to do it is immaterial.
He looks back at his 2 guys, and both of them are, you could see them eyeing the door to get out of the room. And he kind of recognizes the position he's in. Look, I done told you. If I go down, someone else will just step up. Look, you killed me? It ain't gonna solve your problem?
No. But it will lessen the problem, I'd say. At least for a while.
Look, buddy. How
Who
about
is
this?
who is supplying you?
You can see in his eyes, he does a calculation of, okay, this may be how I live through this. Okay, there's a crew comes down from the perch. They're called the early worms. They bring it down to me. I don't know who they get it from, but they're the ones supplying everything here. And from what I understand, they're supplying the guy down below me. And they're the ones that are kind of spreading it in Haven. They're a hell of a lot closer. And look, like I say, this is coming from high up. You said sulfur. Nobody fuck with sulfur unless they got protection. There's somebody really high. And they're working with the gnolls. Nobody does demonology like the gnolls do. Now, there's no reason for there to be violence. His two bodyguards have already moved back towards that door. And you can see he's kind of slid a little back from the table. Sword, you know they're fixing to run.
I'm just keeping calm. Armets, we don't have a name yet, do we?
Early worms. Who is it among the early worms that you work with Flax in the Eye?
He's called. Let me think of a good name for him. Craven. He leads them. They're a Raven gang. I don't know where they get their supply, but they're the ones spreading it. Look, and he's at this point. You've noticed he's got his leg underneath him, probably ready to spring back towards that door. One of those bodyguards has reached down slowly, and to the handle, about to open that door. He says, "Look, if anybody hears that I've talked to you, I'm gonna get the feather. Whoever's dealing this shit works with the Swan. Everyone who's tried to stop it has met with the Swan." And he jumps back. As he does, the door's flung open, and he just tumbles back through the door. There's a scramble as the three of them are, and the one with the daggers kind of backing through the door. And are you just standing there letting him run?
Yes, I am.
There's a kind of Keystone Coffee tumble as they're getting away and slamming the door as y'all just calmly stand there and watch this.
Thank you.
Once they're gone, it's I think it might have actually been a pretty tough fight.
Thank you, Zordon. Thank you, Thurza. I feel that this was so far a rather successful attempt to find out what's going on. We have a number of names.
I got something to work on.
We do. We should leave before they regain their courage and come back with more.
So there's lessons learned here. Anything that you did in your service, just raise it up a bit. Good to use your name.
And you could tell she was ready to fight, but she seemed relieved that they ran.
Jordan is too didn't want to have it start it seemed like a dangerous fight.
As the three of you exit out of this place, she says, "The Swan, that's the person who's been killing people all over Spire."
It seems that our paths may converge again.
Sword, we may be getting in really deep here.
Yeah.
Mr. Armor, I don't know all of what goes on with your efforts with the ministry, but
Like, as her mentioning the ministry, he goes like, "What? That no." Like,
In the middle of a drug den, no flinching whatsoever from Aramis.
Sordin wasn't even aware of the fact that he mentioned it to her, so.
but this is very big. You could be in really big danger.
I know. And you as well.
We need to have a talk, young lady.
Yes, sir. And I think we kind of see the three of you move away from this area. I think we're probably going to wrap soon. We're short a bunch of people. So why don't we take a short break? Come back, have a little discussion on the fallout we saw before, maybe do a little quick round of stars and wishes, and then we'll probably close up session. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Well, let's take.
And we're back.
Excellent. Well, we're bringing our stuff to a close. So I think we have both Vazar and Gerald leaving from the gardens. We have Zordon and Armoritz coming out of this terrible place and heading back towards more familiar environs. And we have some stress that has been dealt across the board here. So I want to look at everybody here and see what we can get for a refresh to start off with. Let's go over here and looking at you, Sabine. I think you definitely did something reckless for the sake of a good story.
Oh, definitely. And I also roped poor Gerald into it. So I get to recover one stress, right?
No. You'll get to roll a die.
Oh.
And
Which
I think
one?
this was a pretty darn reckless. So I'll say a D6.
Cool. So go away D10s. I don't need you anymore. Okay, roll. Wow, I rolled a 6.
Then you can get rid of all that shadow stress.
Yeah, well, just shrug it off like, pfft. This was so much fun.
We'll look at giving Gerald a chance to do that. So remind me that Alex is going to get a chance to roll as well. No. Did his refresh show someone that they should not have underestimated you? Maybe so. Maybe that might fall in there with how he dealt with that executive. Alex, if you're seeing this, and I'll try to remind myself next time we get together, which will be a little bit, to give him a shot. Looking at you, Rich, help those who cannot help themselves. I think you took a major stand here, putting yourself in considerable danger.
Thank you.
So I do think that you hit your refresh moment. I think that considering how dangerous this could have been, I think I'll give you a D6 on it as well.
Okay. I will take that. Oof, got a 5. I think my reputation is cured, if that's cool.
That is correct. And I think that this makes sense. Your damage was kind of in the role dealing with him, but in the end, you came out of it by reestablishing what you believe, and I don't think it's going to be a negative to your reputation going forward this meeting. I think you did what you needed to do. Sordid, engage in reckless excess or fighting in front of a crowd.
I don't think I did either.
I don't think you
But
did either.
I'm not sure, because Aramis did talk about taking reputation damage for me. So I'm not sure how that's, because I just noted down.
Oh, well, I took I took 1 reputation stress that kept you from having to take 2 of the 3
Right,
that was
so I only
coming
took
at
1.
You only took 1. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I didn't refresh because I didn't engage in reckless excess or I didn't fight in front of a crowd, but I am at technically 0 stress.
Correct. You're solid up. So cool. And there are opportunities with several things for you to relieve that stress along the way. All right. Well, because of this, then it looks to me like no one's having to deal with fallout because everybody pretty well evened back up. So cool. My intent is having this information that you both have gained on 2 pretty different fronts here. I'm guessing y'all will come back. You will deal with this information probably as a group. Sabine, I wanted to have the scenario y'all encountered. And I'm not trying to put secrets on the table for this. You have discovered the big scandal here. This is the sort of thing that's a huge story.
I'm going to Grey Manor because that kicked off the whole investigation, and I feel it would be really, really douchey of me to cut them out of it. So I will go to them, bring it to them, because I mean, I might talk a good game about enemies and hey, I can deal with that, but having a little backing doesn't hurt, right?
And we'll deal with that, because I think the tension point then comes down to how this is a massive corporation with great power. And we'll see how even Grey Manor talks to you about what's to be done on this.
Yeah, I mean, I might lose my Grey Manor thing again because I'm not letting this drop, not letting this lie.
Then I think that's going to be fun and our tension point.
Yeah. I mean, I have the feeling that he might really want this out in the world.
And I think it's going to be fun for that discussion to happen. So I look forward to that scene, that whole thing going on there, and how the 2 of you may have a very different view of how best to handle this. So we'll come to that next time we get around to playing. We'll look at that. It is sort of an encapsulated story, though, in comparison to, say, that Drek story. I think it's fair to say we're not seeing any correlation between the Drek story or the Swan and what you're dealing with there. Again, just trying to have my cards on the table. In comparison, Rich, Jan, y'all are all up in the big old, huge, dangerous, terrible thing going on. With this Drek and a serial killer and demonology, and I will say this is our big overarching campaign-y problem we've got going on. So I'm looking forward, and I want us to have opportunity to figure out what we're going to do with this. Are we going to go to the ministry and find out, and let them know more and all of that? So we will be dealing with that coming up on our next one. So that's sort of where I'm wanting us to go with on that. Because this is some dark shit we've just encountered here. So, with all of that in mind, I don't think we're going to do an advance this time, but I think we are in good position to have an advance come up the next time. Worth noting, we get advances based on changing the world as a group. So this story about consolidated foodstuffs will make a big change depending on how it's going out. That'll affect the whole group the same as any other stuff that goes on. It's not just Vizar that will, or Gerald that will get an advance if that goes out. That's a group thing. Just to let us know how that goes. So all of that to bring us around to our much smaller group, but why don't we do a little stars and wishes? Because I think I'd love to hear them. And I'll say this was kind of a tough session for me. I wanted to convey a lot of things in it, and going into that Drek, I wanted it to feel real and dark and awful. And my own history, my own past personally, gave some bleed to that. Not that I was ever in that position, but I certainly knew people and have lived in my life people who have been caught in the throes of something that grabbed hold of them, and they couldn't, or it took a while for them to let it go. So I wanted to convey how awful was what was happening there. And I hope that came across in what I was doing. Also, I wanted to make sure that Sabine and Alex, what y'all were doing there was exciting, while at the same time not wanting it. This feels like it's right up your alley. I didn't want to make this so difficult or such a complex piece of work that Vizar couldn't get out there and tell the story. This feels like what you do for a living. So I wanted it to hit well without it being over the top difficult in a way. Though y'all took a heavy hit. So that's where I was. That's sort of my coming in. I don't know if that's a wish or a star, but I wanted to inform what we did here a little. That's it. Stars and wishes. Jan, you got any stars?
I again really enjoyed your voice work. You do really nice accents and voices for the characters. And I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed how Sordin and Aramis work together. Like I'm really happy that we got to work together, and that it also really worked out very well. And I mean, I also enjoyed the dynamic between Vizar and Gerald. That was also like a good team. Like everything, I think, really looks clicked together really well today.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much. Rich, stars.
I really enjoyed Vizar, the pining, the open pining, and the flirtation and furtiveness, because Vizar is such a bold individual, with Gerald and Alex Starr for just batting it down, not realizing it. And that was the neat little tension. And then this would be at the end, like bring it back up of like, you might notice that this character that I'm referencing, which is you, is totally suave and debonair. And Gerald again, like, bat it down. That was funny. That little interplay was pretty cute. It was intimate too. You know, it wasn't played for humor. I mean, there was a little bit of whimsy to it, but it wasn't played with mockery in any way, and I appreciated that a lot. Star to Jan for the perfect use of a very badass move. I was scared for my character, less so for Zordon, because he's amazing. But I really thought Aramis is going to go down for this, and Zordon was the savior. It was so cool how that scene pivoted. And Tyler, way to lean in. Like, stars to you for saying, you know, this move says this thing, I'm gonna do it. I've seen in other games where moves are written of like, you get this big mega thing that GMs will be like, but I like my bad guy to seem bad, you know, and they'll hold on to that, and you're like, it wasn't much of a victory, but okay. But that really felt like Zordon flipped the script on those scumbags, and yeah, that was great. It was really good. You cheated to it with the whole like we're going to run away stuff, and still a couple moments back and forth. It was good. Got to savor that victory that Zordon had. That was fantastic. Such a great story that that move led us to. Very unexpected, and more trouble. Like, right? We didn't win. We didn't win. We took out Glass Joe. If you're thinking about Mike Tyson's Punch Out, we basically beat up Glass Joe. We haven't even got to the guys that matter. We just got one KO, and he did the little circle round thing and slam onto the mat. You raise your hands in victory, but still, you know, it's Glass Joe. So, but it was good. I loved it. It was awesome. Those are my stars.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much. Sabine, stars?
Yeah, many. I loved the session. I loved playing along with Alex, and the way Jared was like, yeah, I totally read your novels, totally read your stuff, never has, and didn't get all the little innuendo I put in there. And now with Zara things, he did it, he got it, but doesn't want to react to it. Yeah, well, poor Vizar. And I kind of loved I loved the whole thing with the in the, what was the name, Abyss. Yeah, that was a great scene. These people are really being down, and then the whole threatening stuff. And I mean, the dice, as much as I would have loved for you to really make that impression, Aramitz, it felt real that this is not an approach that actually works on these guys. And then comes on Sordin with this, hey, I'm just gonna beat you up until you bleed out. So, and I can't do this, and you believe that I can. So shut the hell up. That was amazing. Yeah, and that was so great. I love Sordin even more because he doesn't always beat people up. No, sometimes he just threatens to beat them up, and that's even more effective. That's amazing. That was really amazing. And Tyler, I love the scenes you were setting with JP Borgard, which is a weird name for an elf, but well, yeah, you can't blame the family. It's a all family name, I guess. And yeah, I kind of love the whole thing. And now I'm really curious to see where it goes, but as I've said, I will be here in 2 weeks. So, but that might just mean that Vizar is doing his gray matter and writing stuff. So he's got actually a reason why he's not there. And also he wants to find some dragon, see what's it's all about, right? I mean, I can't write about it without personal experience, can I?
Oh my. Yes, a deadline and dangerous things. We'll see. We'll see what happens here in 2 weeks. And then in the 3rd week, we'll see what happens. Quick stars. Jan, I loved your in the tavern looking at Aramitz and how is your neighbor? Your concern there was so sweet. It was just a beautiful look into this character. You're making layers to this character, and I think that's so cool. It was nice because then it made a difference when you were there backing up Aramitz in this, den of awful and being this threatening presence. The audience knows there's a sweet guy doing it. Along with that, I love your interactions with Thorza. I love that character. I like playing her. I like where that's going to develop. I love you as a mentor. And then at the same time, I like the idea that she's looking out for you too. So I think that's fun. Rich, you continue to make this character so wonderful and easy to love.
Thank you.
This is such a sweet, nice person. And we're in like the worst world, you know. This is definitely goatee world. And it's so nice to have someone who is a clear moral center. And I kind of agree with Sabine. It was good the dice said that talking this guy down might not work. Cause he's a vile piece of crap. And we got to deal with him by, you know, with him being that. So I thought that was cool. But boy, I love your character. Sabine, I really enjoy the interplay. I like the flirting. I want to, and I'll hit this in wishes, but I want to see more of it. I loved watching you and Alex work together. Your excitement, his conservative nature, the, you know, how y'all can deal with things was really neatly done. And I really like Vizar's kind of crusader nature. You are definitely that journalist out there to make a difference. And I think that's cool and neat and is a really interesting part of Revolution. So I think that watching that build is going to be very nice. And, you know, along with that, Alex, just phenomenal work. I liked the kind of, yeah, sure. I read all your stuff. Your stuff's so good. I'm looking forward to seeing how that develops. And I always like seeing Gerald's sneakiness. I think it's cool. So wishes. Let's go back around the other way. Sabine, any wishes?
Oh, I mean, I have so many, but mostly it's just more of this because I really want to see more of these characters. I think I need to do something with Aramet soon because we haven't yet, and I feel that we both have a sort of idealism, even though mine is a lot more irreverent, I guess, and a lot less on this. Oh, I really a lot less empathetic. It's more about the grand picture and freeing all of them instead of helping the singular person. Oh, I've just thought of a wish that kind of connects to that. I would like to see something about our bonds because the only one I think we've seen so far is Thurza, and I think there is a mechanical thing we can do with them, and I don't know what that is, but I'm eager to learn it. But I would like to. I would like to see my criminal cousin and my sort of muse that thinks I love her and stuff like that. Yeah, that would be a wish to see more of them. But I will also have so many wishes to have scenes with all of you. Fodara, come back and have a scene with me, please.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much. Rich, wishes.
Yeah, I actually was like, hey, Bizarre's really good at learning stuff about Drek. I'll pull. And then Bizarre's like, nope, going with Gerald. And I was like, yeah, okay, that totally tracks. So I do look forward to that and hope that we get to have a scene or so together. I also, how do I approach this? I named the character Aramitz because I actually saw him as occasionally like a little bit of a romantic creature. So a run-in with, as Sabine said, the bonds with Yvette, or even possibly something a little more intimate with Thurza, who I believe Aramitz is fond of as well, could be fun. But again, those are scenes with NPCs, so they're lower priority for me than scenes with other PCs. But just a couple wishes that, I get wishes. So there you go.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much. Jan, wishes?
Not like I would have would have wished to see more of Bizarre and Gerald together. I definitely would have wished that Fanara was here. But yeah, no, I mean, it makes sense that we didn't have time for all of that, and not everyone was here. So, but yeah, that's all really.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I'll say I wish Jen had been here. I wish Jen a happy return. We love you, Jen, and we look forward to having you back. It always feels like there's just not enough time to get everything in. I have a habit of not talking. It's just something I do. I like to put people together, let them go and talk and talk and talk and talk. So I never feel like it's a bad thing if it goes long when people are role playing together. Maybe that means I don't get as much other stuff on the board, but I'd rather see y'all role play than anything else in the world. That's it. I do want to get some of the NPCs in and play with some of the bonds. I think those will be fun. I like the idea that there's this weird triangle for Vizar and Cheryl and the lady who is all in love with Vizar. I think that could be fun. Next, when we get a chance all together, I want to talk kind of meta with Alex and you and feel what we want for romance. Rich, I admit I had not looked at your bond enough to have it in my head. I will make sure I do that. So a big wish to have a better understanding of where everybody is connected. You know, I just wish we could keep on playing and making this thing fun. So huge wish to carrying on our thread here. I feel like we're driving through some cool stuff. So I'm very excited. Thank you all for playing. We will be off next week with it, but in 2 weeks we will come back to something and turn it back over to you, Rich.
Thanks everybody
Whose
for
dog is
watching.
whining?
Oh, wait,
whining?
Tyler's dog knows the game is over. So
okay. Hi,
that's
Tyler's
exactly what
dog.
happens every time. Thank you all for playing, and thanks everyone for watching. See y'all later.